So I'm actually really excited about this one, guys. I'm at 154 East Main Street in Lancaster. I'm out here for my friend Bobby Gill. It's a investment property we're looking at. It's actually a castle from the 1800s that's right in the heart of town, right next to City Hall. I think this thing is amazing. I just kind of parked. I'm walking around back. I'm gonna go up front here in a second. I'm not 100% I have permission to post this yet, so I gotta talk to the listing agent. This might just be for Bobby and my team in the meantime, but kind of hoping we can use this. I think it's a very unique property, maybe one of the most unique I've been to, so I'll give you updates soon. So just to kind of show you how amazing the position is, so that's the auditor's office right there. That's the courthouse and administrative office. Right there is where William T. Sherman grew up. And right down here is the museum where William T. Sherman was born, actually. And right next to it happens to be my favorite restaurant here in town. It's Maria's Mexican. But the building itself is this castle right here to the left. So it's not quite the corner lot. There's one more building that would be right next to you here. But you would have 154 East Main Street. So I think this has great positioning. It's one of those buildings that, you know, people really like stop and look at a little bit. I mean, just look at even the retention wall that holds it up. Very grand. The staircases that lead up to it. I feel like if we restored it the right way, this thing could be like an amazing centerpiece in town. You wouldn't necessarily need to do too much to the exterior. I mean, I guess we'll figure that out once we talk to the listing agent a little bit more. But I think there's just so much room in here to build this out into an awesome, like, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking like an entertainment complex with maybe some units at the top to rent out as like an Airbnb, or you can sell them as penthouses or something to this effect. But like, look at these giant stones here. I mean, obviously, if there's problems, these are going to be much more expensive and difficult to restore. But personally, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, some of the brickwork has some laddering in it, and obviously we'll need a special type of mason to work on that. It also mentioned in the description that they would need work on the HVAC system. I'm kind of glad to see there's units installed. Katie was worried maybe they'd have to do the entire building, but if it already has some of the base work, obviously that's not as much of a deal, but it does look a little bit dated. So it's one of those things that probably needs completely replaced, but hopefully it's not too much additional work to do that. Just kind of going around the back here. Now, did mention that it came with 10 parking spaces. I'm thinking I parked in that spot. I don't think it's these right here. I think that's your neighbor's building to our left. Some sort of like back alley parking here. Just looking down here, I feel like there's a couple of those windows where you can see where the brick's laddering a little bit. So hopefully that's not indication of too many of issues. I think the outside looks pretty solid, but these would be your parking spots right over here. I believe it says it comes with, like I said, 10. I'm almost wondering, you know, and this is maybe a long shot, but if we could partner with some of these other guys here like Dagger Law, maybe just turn this into like a giant parking garage or something like that. I think downtown Lancaster desperately needs a large parking garage. All they really have is street parking in these back alley ones, and it makes it difficult, especially during event times, to even get close. I think if you had one and you could fit, you know, a couple hundred cars in there, I think there would be a lot of opportunity to that. Obviously, this parking space wouldn't be enough on its own, but I'm thinking like if we could combine perhaps like this one, maybe even the next one down, obviously we'd have to work out a deal with them, so that's a lot of extra steps to this. But, you know, if we were investing a little over $1 million in the rehab, or, you know, potentially more, I don't know exactly what it'd be, you know, that type of stuff I think is at least worth exploring. This thing, as you can see, is huge. I'm thinking the listing agent will be here soon, and I'll give you an update from the inside. I'm in downtown Lancaster at 154 East Main Street, and I'm just in the parking lot right now, but I just love this view with the kind of like church situation in the background and just a nice little skyline. Lancaster really is a beautiful city, even in these less maintained back alleys here. I think there's still a nice charm to it all.